Hey everyone, this is a big story. Even if no one else has paid attention to it, it is an enormously big story. On Tuesday night, the Oakland City Council quietly and quickly approved a $105 million bond issue. Only it wasn't worded that way. The rest of the media, outside of Zenny 62 media, which has this tendency to pay attention to the petty politics of Oakland, the politics that pits class, race, everything else. But when it comes to the nuts and bolts of how Oakland government is ran, the media outside of Zenny 62 media is completely non-existent. It doesn't care. It might as well not even be around. I'm just simply telling it like it is, folks. I really am. Now, what the bond issue does is it uses or will use up to $105 million in monies from various tax sources for the rest of this fiscal year for the payment of $105 million that is being borrowed. That's right. Now, there has been no, and I repeat, no explanation precisely what this money will be used for. No one has any idea whatsoever. None. In fact, the resolution specifically states, well, it doesn't specify anything. It says, and I quote, whereas pursuant to section 53850 of the Government Code of the State of California, the law contained in Article 76, 7.6 thereof, entitled Temporary Borrowing, on or after the first day of any fiscal year being July 1st, the city may borrow money by issuing notes for any purpose for which a city is authorized to expend monies, including but not limited to current expenses, capital expenditures, and the discharge of any obligation or indebtedness of a city. In other words, we can borrow $105 million for whatever frickin' reason we want to there. It doesn't say that the government has to tell you exactly what that purpose is for, because they can simply point to the law, which they do here, and say, hey, look, we can borrow this for any purpose we want to. That's in the resolution that the council passed. Right there, okay? And then it says, whereas pursuant to section 53833 of the same California Government Code, that 53853, not 33, but 53 of the California Government Code, the Oakland City Council, or the Council of the City of Oakland, has found and determined that the sum of up to 105 million, or more specifically 105,000,000, is needed for the requirements of the city to satisfy obligations payable from the general fund of the city, and that it is necessary that an amount up to said sum be borrowed for such purpose at this time by the issuance of the note, which is called the note, in anticipation of the receipt of taxes, revenues, and other money to be received by the city for the general fund of the city during or allocatable to fiscal year 2018-2019. Okay? All right? And it goes on to say, whereas it appears that the council hereby finds and determines that the principal amount of the note, when added to the interest payable thereon, does not exceed 85% of the estimated amount of the uncollected taxes, incomes, revenue. That's sort of that deals with debt coverage ratio issues, okay? In other words, we have found that this debt and the requirement of payback does not go beyond our ability to pay it back, including a cushion of about roughly 15%, okay? That's what it says, or it says 80, in other words, it doesn't exceed 85% of the monies they need, okay? So all that's well and good, but why is the city borrowing $105 million at this point in time? I'm going to speculate that it has something to do with the mayor of Oakland's desire to buy the Oakland Coliseum from the county of Alameda, or more specifically, the Coliseum, the county's portion of the Coliseum, or more specifically, the county's portion of the debt associated with the Coliseum. Because I've heard from staff sources that they were, quote, in search of, unquote, assessed value numbers, but no one shared with me what the final number was. Then other conversations pointed to the notion that the county was interested in basically having its part of the total debt on the Coliseum retired. You could get this $105 million, pay the county its negotiated portion, and have a little bit left over. Because the total from the Braiders, if you cut that in terms of debt, remaining debt in half, that comes to about, I believe, $60 million for the county, something like that. Then you have to add in the Warriors part, and that's another $40 million, so that's $90 million. So you're getting close, all right? But it sounds and reads like this $105 million could very well be used for that purpose. It's up to the city to come out and say, well, that's not what we're trying to do. So now, having said that, I will now show you this, because I don't want anyone to say, well, Zinni, we did have that conversation and we did ask questions. Okay, right. Because this is what actually happened, all right? Here is, let me show you this. This is what actually went down Tuesday night on this specific issue. Right there. There it is. Bear with me. Excuse me.
Exceed $105 million, and also approving the execution of a note purchase agreement.
Let's start that again.
Tax and revenue anticipation notes payable from revenues received.
What I'm doing is I'm going back here so you can see, okay, here, and here. All right. Okay.
Tax and revenue anticipation notes payable from revenues received during the fiscal year 2018-2019 in an amount not to exceed $105 million, and also approving the execution of a note purchase agreement. The funds will be used to finance the prepayment of the City of Oakland's unfunded accrued liability contribution to CalPERS during the fiscal year.
Okay.
With this
There it
pre-funding, the city is able to garner a 3.5% discount, and based upon where market conditions are right now, that's estimated to generate about a $1.1 million savings during the course of the fiscal year. And I'm available for any questions. And this really is another example of where staff is, looking at using creative options and financing tools to utilize savings.
Councilmember Brooks.
Through the chair, in the report, it said that a part of why we're doing this is to get that 3% discount, and that we were going to be saving some cost associated with fees. Is that correct?
Yeah, if you pre-fund, you're able to get a 3.5% discount, and your borrowing rate is actually going to be less than that. So essentially, CalPERS is going to just be reducing your monthly bill. That's basically what it boils down to.
Yeah, I guess what I didn't understand though is that it was it's going to cost us about $172,000, and so I didn't know based on the report, because it didn't show how much were the additional fees we were going to pay. We're already paying this on a monthly basis,
right?
And so it was the discount that was supposed to be saving to us, but I didn't know if because we're paying that $172,000, whether or not we're really saving money.
We are. The $172,000 is basically the cost of issuance that we need to utilize to issue the note. And actually, if you look at it on a comparative basis, going into the public marketplace, your cost of issuance will be much higher.
I'm sorry, Ken.
If you did it through public issuance, your cost of issuance will actually be much higher. So this is a very reasonable amount of money.
Yeah, I just couldn't tell that because
Got it.
there are no
Okay.
numbers in the report. And so it would be helpful going forward if we could see the comparison.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
she's right.
Mr. Gallo.
Make a motion to approve the item.
So I have a question on this item. There's a motion by Councilmember Gallo, seconded by Councilor McElhaney. So we've done several trans which have ended up benefiting the city, trans and refundings and different financings over the course of the last 4 years, but I've never seen us go through an RFP process.
We actually do bid it out.
So my question is, when was the last time that we did an RFP process for financial advisory services and for bond counsel and for underwriting services? I've never seen that gone out in my time that I've been here.
We actually have a financial advisory pool that we do maybe every
So my
two.
question is, when did that pool get opened up to allow other people to participate in that pool? That's
Maybe a
my
little
specific question.
over 2 years ago for our financial advisory pool.
And what about for the other individuals involved in the financing?
We do not have an underwriting pool.
What's that?
We do not have an underwriting pool.
Katano Kasane again. So for underwriters, we actually RFP, we usually go deal by deal. So we don't create a pool at all. So we send out an RFP each deal. For financial advisor, we do a 3-year pool. So every 3 years we'll do that, and it goes out every 3 years. We're probably the 3rd year for current financial group. But each deal we do, a bond deal, it goes out an RFP each time.
And what about for bond counsel services?
Same with bond counsel, and it goes through the city attorney's office. We don't hire, they do.
Got it. Thank you. There's a motion by Councilmember Gallo, seconded by Councilmember McElhaney. All those in favor? Seeing no objections, the motion passes. Next item, please.
So this item is
And,
part of the ordinance will be.
And folks, there
scheduled
was
for
no
final
discussion
passage
other
on
than
June
that,
5th.
okay? Because,
That would be the second reading, correct?
shoot, doggone it.
Item 12,
Oh,
two-part
sorry
of
about that.
resolution, the ordinance. The ordinance will go for
Okay.
final passage on June 5th. Item 13, an
There was
ordinance.
Anyway, what I was saying is that there was no discussion other than that. And in the resolution, there was no mention of PERS. Now, let me answer some questions. First of all, the mayor under the Oakland Strong Mayor system is not required to sit on the council. So the mayor doesn't sit on the council. The mayor can, if is needed, come to council to issue a tie-breaking vote on an issue. But the mayor is not required to sit on the city council on a regular meeting basis, okay? That is different from how it was under our council manager form of government when I worked for L.U. Harris, where the mayor did preside over the council on a regular meeting basis. So that's what is up with that, okay? Now, as far as this topic at hand, the resolution said nothing about the cities using this money for PERS, okay? And the revenue representative said it's for our unfunded pension liability, but it doesn't say that in the resolution. So how do we know it's actually going to be used for that, okay, if indeed the resolution doesn't specifically say that's what it's going to be used for? All right, that's of interest to me, because okay, that's of interest to me, and it does appear. Wonder if I'm on. Am I on? Let's see here. Am I on? Are you able to see me here? I'm getting this spinning wheel of death, but it's not clear. It's clear that I'm recording here, but I'm not sure that I'm on here. Let me try something here. Oh, wait a minute. I'm on? Okay, cool. I'm on. All right, as long as I'm on, because I'm getting this interesting spinning wheel of death thing on my video, but as long as I'm on with you all, that's cool. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure, because sometimes I can talk and I think I'm being recorded and the screen comes up black or something like that, right? So I just wanted to make sure that wasn't the case in this instance. Okay, all right, so let me try something. Let me switch over to Chrome, turn that down. But my point is, we don't know that this money is actually going to be used for that purpose. The guy just said it right on the dais, but none of the staff reports give a specific use for that money. None. And that's why I raised the issue. And the council didn't admonish staff about the incompleteness of the report. So is this a secret deal? Is this $105 million going to be used for something else? That's my question. All right. That's my question. What is going on here? And if it's really going to be used just for PERS, somewhere in the records of the city, that needs to be put in writing. Now you would say, what's PERS? PERS is the California Public Employees Retirement System. That's PERS. And we have a pension liability due to the fact that we have a number of persons who've retired that are receiving pensions, a large number. And that, as they grow in number and then of course continue in life, grows in its amount. And so what it's up to right now is a good question I don't know the answer to. But what the gentleman said was that the money would be used to pay that at a better rate because what CalPERS allows. Okay. But again, that's not stated in the staff report. That the agenda report did not say that. I'm going back. I've got agenda. I've got two things. I got agenda and I got video. All right. And if I go down from finance department for this resolution regarding this $105 million, all right, I don't have the report which says that at all. And and what I'm doing right now is I'm going right back to triple check again to see if there's anything I may have missed, and clicking on this item just in case. And I apologize, my computer is just being slow right now, but I'm certain I didn't. I've viewed this report a number of times, and who knows? Now, as far as where, okay, now we've got this thing popping open. As far as where the matter of buying the Coliseum is, I don't know at this point in terms of whether they are toward the tail end of the negotiation or in the middle. But I do know, okay, here we go. I do know, there's no report, there's details. I do know that talks have been held and are continuing to be held regarding the sale of the county's portion of the Oakland-Alameda County Coliseum to the city of Oakland, all right? Now I've got, okay, what I have is I have view, okay, here's view report. There's attachment. And as I click on it, it says view report. Let me try something else here. When I say cancel here, open file, I'm going to take another gander at it to make sure I didn't miss something that's of import, well, as I say, importance. But all of this has to do with the nuts and bolts of running a city. Knowing where the money is coming from and where the money is going. Okay, of equal import. All right, so let's see here. We've got the agenda, view report. Let's try this. Click on that and see what we get. And PDF viewers opening up. There's the resolution. This is 44 pages. Temporary borrowing. 2 of 44. Okay. This is a slightly different document. And Exhibit A for value received. That's the note, okay. This lays out the details of the note itself, but it doesn't talk about the PERS issue. It says note purchase agreement between City of Oakland and Bank of America. It has the definitions, okay. But none of this says anything about why the city is doing this. It has, yeah. It has the city charter, no impairment. It's about the note, okay. But it has nothing. It has a debt service schedule, notice of prepayment, purchase letter, Bank of America. But there's nothing here about PERS. There's nothing here about CalPERS. Nothing. Okay. There is nothing here about CalPERS in any of these documents. Nothing. So how do we know it's really going to go to that and not to the purchase of the Coliseum? That is something else, okay? That's something else, but that's how our city is ran these days. In Oakland, we care more about petty politics than the explanation of detailed, involved government activities like borrowing $105 million. I think one of you said something about the Coliseum being worth more than $105 million. I already addressed that. And you have to think about it. It's not the total value of the Coliseum that is at stake. It is what the county wants is basically the purchase of its debt. All right, and its share of the debt. So the share of the total debt for the Raiders is about, I think now 70 million. Half of that is 35 million for the county. If you take the Warriors issue, if it's 90 million, of course, half of that is what, 45 million. So then if you look at the Warriors situation, that's another 90 million. Half of that is 45 million. So you take that, you got 90 million total. You still have 105 million, some money left over. And thus, it would make a lot of sense that the city would borrow 105 million for that purpose. And then with the idea that, hey, look, if Dave Cavall is going to come along and give us 135 million or more, we actually come out ahead, right? So you have 105 million in cash, required that 105 million. You're getting 135, so you get, 30 million up, so you're 30 million up. And I mean, I'm not saying this is what the city is doing, but I'm saying that it's reasonable to speculate that's a possibility, all right? They're not telling us. And so it leaves everything open to conjecture. Exactly what is going on here, all right? What is going on? And What we do know is this: the city has borrowed $105 million. That's what we know. We know the city. We know this is borrowed. The city of Oakland has borrowed $105 million. And so there you go. Kevin KD says, so what's going on with Oaktown tonight? Oaktown right now? Well, I'm 3 hours ahead. So right now in Oaktown, it's 1:05 in the afternoon, and it's a safe bet that I know that Lake Chalet has held and is probably still hosting ESPN related telecasts, and therefore ESPN's crawling all over the place. There are people who are getting ready, probably enjoying the day at some place, bar or restaurant, before NBA Finals Game 1, and then there are people working and doing their normal things. Interestingly, the Rules Commission meeting, the City of Oakland's Rules Commission meeting was canceled today. Canceled. You think that has something to do with the NBA Finals? Might. Maybe someone's got a ticket? Definitely. Definitely. Watch the stands and look for the council members. Just saying. To put a light on it that's more appropriate to what kind of information they want out there, the Council of Lake generally tends to give its tickets away collectively to different charities or different people that they feel are deserving of having them. All right. Okay, I'm going to get this out there, but again, City of Oakland borrows $105 million. Council members don't ask why. I should amend this to say Coliseum purchase or CalPERS. CalPERS or something else. Or I should say, is it really CalPERS? I should say, don't ask why. And then I should say, let's see here. Don't ask why. CalPERS or Coliseum purchase. Okay. Stay tuned to Zenny 62. Please subscribe to Zenny 62 for more. I'll see everybody later tonight. Go Warriors.